Fever is a lyric poem composed by a British poet named John Edward Masefield. Sea Fever was first published in 1902. This poem is regarded as one of the best poems depicting wanderlust and the irresistible call of nature. Through the skillful use of various literary devices and figures of speech, the poet paints a vivid description of the sea and his yearning to go back to the vagrant gypsy life of the sea. The poem consists of 3 stanzas. After the brief explanation of each stanza, we will discuss some of the questions based on the poem. You might want to pause here and learn the keywords and their meanings. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. The poem begins with a sense of urgency. I must go down to the seas again. This is the refrain. Refrain is a phrase or a line repeated at intervals throughout a poem. I must go down to the seas again. Now, throughout this poem, the poet uses this refrain to depict his strong urge to return to the life of sea. In the first stanza, the poet describes the sea as lonely. Sailing on the sea, one can experience the vast expanse of the sea and the sky. As far as the eye goes, there's nothing except the beautiful nature, the horizon, the sea, the sky, the wind, and the sea creatures. This lonely sea is where the poet wishes to be, and all he asks for is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. Over here, the star referred to is the North Star. In ancient times, sailors used the North Star as a compass to guide their ships in the right direction. The poet further tells what he wants in the following line. And the wheels kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking. Notice the beautiful rhythm the words follow. It almost feels like the rhythm of waves on which the ship will sail. Also notice the beautiful wordplay through repetition of whir sound. Wheels, winds, white. This literary device is called alliteration. In alliteration, same sounding words are placed together. The poet wants a strong wind for his white sail to shake and propel the ship forward. The phrases wheels kick and the wind's song further emphasizes the strong wind needed by the poet. In the last line of the first stanza, the poet personifies sea. That is, he treats sea as a living person, and he wants a grey mist on the sea's face. He would like to begin his voyage at dawn, as he says, a grey dawn breaking. Notice the repetition of the word grey and how it paints a vivid picture in our minds. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. And all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. The next stanza begins again with the refrain, I must go down to the seas again, emphasizing his longing to go back to the sea. He explains that he must go to the seas again because the call of the running tide, that is, the call of the sea, is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied. Thus, the poet finds the primal call of sea irresistible and he simply can't deny it. In the last 2 lines, He asks for a windy day and paints a vivid picture of the sea with beautiful imagery. White clouds flying and the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. We can literally visualize the windy day with the white clouds flying, with poet's tall ship, with the flung spray and the blown spume and the seagulls crying. That's the hallmark of great piece of literature. We can see and hear the scene painted by the poet's beautiful words. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. The third and the last stanza again begins with the refrain, I must go down to the seas again. The poet describes the life at sea as vagrant gypsy life. As the ship is moving from one place to another, from one port to another, it's like the nomadic life of a gypsy. In the next line, he beautifully uses alliteration and simile to describe that he wants to go to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. Notice the repetition of verse sound, that's alliteration. Like a whetted knife, that's a simile. Simile is a figure of speech comparing two unlike things. For example, he fought like a lion, as busy as a bee. Now, the strong wind expected at sea has been compared to the whetted knife, that is, the sharpened knife. Still, the speaker wishes to go there only. He doesn't mind the wind which is like a whetted knife. The poet ends the poem by saying that all his heart desires is a merry yarn, that is, a happy anecdote from a laughing fellow, that is, a fellow sailor. And when the long trick's over, that is, he's done his duty at the helm of the ship, all he looks for is some quiet sleep and a sweet dream. Thus, the poet emphasizes that all his heart desires is a life at sea, and he would be happy and content there. Please pause here and go through the whole poem and the word meanings on the right.
this video helped you, kindly like, share and subscribe. Press the bell icon to receive notifications. Thank you.